Hey, what's up, guys? Good Sunday morning. It's video day. I was sitting here thinking about what to really share this Sunday. As I've mentioned several times in the past, that the easiest content for me to create is always going to be what I'm going through at that very moment, right? And right now, in the last couple of weeks, well, more than a month now, I've been dealing with my health problems and just, really getting on the journey to tackle this thing properly. So I wanted to make this video about how I'm really going about this and how I'm still learning to structure my day and life around this event. Like what this is like an unexpected life event, right? It's just, for me right now, it's health. For you guys watching, it could be something else. And that's one of the ways I want to frame this so it can be applicable to other people as well, right? So let's get into it. I want to take you guys through why is it so difficult to, when something unexpected happens in your personal life or in business, why is it so difficult to get over it and be able to get back on the horse and in a position where you are basically, taking into account what you have to do to get over that challenge or hurdle that just came up, and then either get back onto the path you were originally on, or how to modify your entire path so you can take into account of both things, right? The unexpected new challenge and the things you know that you normally have to do, right? If that makes sense. I'll as I go through it, it'll make more sense. So let's first talk about here. What is the current program? So the current program for me is sales fulfillment, but in another way to put it, it's just business efficiency. That's what is prioritized, right? I have many things, many goals I share. Beginning of the year, I share my goals for health and everything like that. I'm pretty, in terms of diet and health best practices, I'm pretty good. It's not that my health problems that I'm facing now is because of things I did recently, or I'm eating bad or something. All those things were in order, right? I run a pretty efficient program, but it's prioritized for business efficiency, right? So that's the current program. And a person who is efficient in their business, right? Or you can just say, not even about the business, a person who's efficient and prioritizes efficiency is really telling, right? It's pretty easy to tell how entrepreneurs act. We know the content that is around the industry, stuff like that. You can probably observe yourself and how you think about certain things after being in entrepreneurship for a while, that your entire day and everything you do, you are trying to be efficient one way or the other, right? So for example, the most common things are routines, right? Schedules. I wake up at a certain time. I eat certain foods every day, right? My diet is pretty much the same. I sleep at a certain time, right? I have meditation I do in the morning, meditation before I go to sleep. I have, when I'm selling, I have a certain amount of calls I want to do before afternoon, videos I want to send from before evening. When I'm not selling, I want to tackle the most important things that I need to, building systems, maybe learning something new, or talking to team members. Everything is built from a routine and designed to be efficient, right? When I zoom out of that, it also plays a big part in my personal life, right? Because it's kind of when you're an entrepreneur, it's not really sectored out. It's kind of the whole thing is built together in a routine for yourself, right? From the way I cook my food, it's all done in a Sunday for the rest of the week. Everything is built together. I mean, my girlfriend even laughs at me sometimes because in the morning when I'm putting up the pasta, I would go and put the empty pan on the stove and turn it on. And then I'll run hot water in the sink, which has to go in the pot so I can boil the pasta, right? But it takes a while for the water to heat up in the sink. So I let the pot heat up at the same time I am letting the water heat up. Now, this is an extreme example. I kind of mess around and have fun with little things like that. It's not like I have extreme OCD or some kind of crazy Elon Musk entrepreneur thing. But I'm just giving an example of how we play these little games, and it's all part of this character that we built over time, which runs on efficiency. when I mean runs on, I'm not talking about just like that's what you do. I'm talking about it fuels you. The more efficient we are, the more driven we become, right? The more I'm able to hit the notes on my day-to-day, like, okay, done this, I want to do this before afternoon, I did it before afternoon, I get a boost. The less sluggish I'm going to be in that afternoon to evening because I felt good about myself that I was able to hit it. Everything is rewarded by efficiency, right? And building this kind of character is extremely efficient, extremely powerful, and very, it gets shit done, right? So it does work. It is done for that, for a reason. But what happens and why is it that, why are overall unexpected life events so good at, notorious, whether it be health, family, those are like the top ones I would say, so good at taking us off our path? It's because it breaks that pattern. It's a huge pattern interruption in that entire character that we built, right? We basically built a script. If you're anything like me, I think of it like a script, like, okay, morning, afternoon, evening, I just run this. If I were to copy paste this over the next 90 days, I'll be at 70K a month. If I do it for the next 6 months, I'll be at 100K a month, right? It's like a script I run. Now, when that script is interrupted with things that are literally, for me particularly, it's literally forcing me to stop that script, two things can happen. First of all, initially you can just break down, which is what kind of like happened to me. Not as bad as before, but kind of, right? Like I've just been watching TV shows. I let go of my sleep schedule. I let go of like meditation, let go of my diet and everything, and just kind of like being like a swamp. And I'm just like, if I can't like even do my daily routine, then what's the point? Let me just do what I have to do with this health stuff, right? So I'm just going and tackling my health problems while not doing anything with efficiency at all. But as I'm going through this over the last, more than 2 weeks now, I started realizing certain things, right? And one of them, I'll just point out, is actually due to the TV show I was watching, right? It's not the content of the TV show, which is a show, like an old show called Sopranos. It's actually to do with my habit and how I'm going about watching this TV show, right? So while I'm, let's say like last week or beginning of this this ending week, as I watch each episode, right? I share with you guys, I've been watching like 7-8 episodes per day, right? It's like basically I'm watching this like as a part-time job, and then like on my other side have been just dealing with doctors. As I'm watching it, I realize that every time the episode finishes, I rush to skip the credits and go to the next episode and then skip the intro really quick. Now, this is not because I really want to know what's going on in the show. In fact, it's not that interesting to me. Like this show particularly, I'm not enjoying it as much, but it's because I want to hide from my thoughts, right? It's because the character that is still in place is me as the efficient guy is still in place. The TV show is a current distraction, and every time I get this hole in events that's happening place, this entertainment thing that stops, like credits coming out, I get back into my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, fuck, how much of this stuff, like, what am I doing with my life? Like, all this kind of thoughts start coming in. So I try to rush through and skip to the next one. It's a very telling thing that I don't want to be doing this either. So then I took a second, right? And I actually decided to stop, finishing this, which is a little bit difficult because I'm like there's 7 seasons. I watched till season 5, and now I'm just feeling like, after taking a step back, I'm like, all right, let's look at this properly. And I'm basically broke it down. So what has to happen next, right? Current program self that I'm built is an efficient business overall lifestyle guy. I'm being forced to getting my routine changed because of my health problems. My one is literal, as I said. Like I'm waiting for to find out if I'm going to get a surgery in my hand, so I can't type. I've been doing a lot of the things with just using speech notes, and so when something like this happens, this is how I would recommend going about it and how I'm planning to go about it. Right? Instead of hiding behind TV shows and like little things just to chill out fully. You could do that. Honestly, I kind of enjoy taking like 2 weeks, 3 weeks completely off. I probably wouldn't be able to get to this point right away. I mean, that's fucking insane if you're able to do that. Those are probably the type of guys who make like millions and millions of dollars. I don't know like what it takes to be able to, like, as soon as something insane happens in your life, you just fucking get back on the horse and, like, you know, I don't know what that would take. But what normally happens is people get lost in these things for months and months, and you want to curve that by weeks. Anyways, let's get into it. So I basically outlined the top 2 things that needs to happen for me to win in this new challenge, right? So whatever it may be for you, a family member passed away, I don't know, anything that's like dramatic and it really affects your life to a great degree, maybe someone, you know, close you love, your kids, or your wife, whatever it is, something happened to them. How do you go about it so you can basically tackle it? The first thing I would say is to really take some time, like, you know, literally spend like half an hour to an hour with you and just a piece of paper and a pen, and just write down the things that you believe that you could be doing or you have to do to win this event, to win this challenge. Once you do that, pick the top 2. So for me, in my specific challenge, it's regular specific action that I should be taking, and then regular broad action, right? Now, for you, it might be 2 specific things, like, you know, like if you're having some health problems and you have, like, you know, no kind of health things built, whatever, in your character, maybe it'll be just like, okay, I'll start going to the gym and I'll stop drinking soda, right? That could be a pretty basic one, right? If you have like let's say you're just overall obese or something. Well, my one's a lot more dangerous. I mean, a lot more serious than that at the moment, right? I had to go to the ER, like emergency, twice in 1 week. So for me, it's what is the action I can take every day that's going to move me towards accomplishing this goal as fast as possible, right? Of getting healthy. Regular specific action. And for me, that is filling my calendar with doctor appointments 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. So all the afternoons from here on for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be booking doctor appointments, like almost like a sales job, from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., right? I kind of been doing this in the last week and the last 2 weeks, but they haven't been fully booked. I've been going to 3 to 4 doctors. I want to make it where it's like, I'm going to all the conditions that I have and every single doctor in each department that is possible to have an answer. And then if I can't think of any more departments, I'm going to go back to the top issues in my health and go for a second and third run of doctors for the same exact tests, right? This is a way, it's basically a system I'm putting in through and booking it out so that I know that I would have to spend the time either to get the highest quality doctors, because I'm spending so much time running around the whole city, taking trains and stuff and taking these tests, or I'll just have to go to the same doctors, doctors with the same conditions again. So you know what I mean, how I scheduled it? It's literally one of the most amount of data I can get about this particular problem I'm having at the fastest amount of time. That's number 1, regular specific action. The second part is regular broad action. What other regular things can I do which is broad, right? Overall, like you could say mindset wise and holistic, right? So for me, for that would be what I picked out is heated yoga twice a day. And if you realize that it's going to be, I mean, it doesn't really actually matter what I put here. You just have to see like what kind of idea I have in my head. Heated yoga, swimming twice a week, sleeping in till 7 a.m. Like I'm just used to sleeping way less. I'm still trying to like elongate how much I sleep because it's hard for me to be lazy. Like I just want to wake up and do stuff. Like, so I'm like kind of letting myself really sleep in. And if I wake up early, I'm just like letting myself kind of like rest in more. Again, broad, it helps with health. It helps. Sleeping more will probably be better for your health, even if it's more efficient for entrepreneurship, right? So again, the first thing, another thing to understand here is you're prioritizing your problem right now, right? So anything that overlaps with your other goals, this will be prioritized. I should have said that before I start here. Juicing, water only, weekly acupuncture, few things right there. It's not, you don't have to pay attention to what I'm doing. That's just for me specifically. What you'd have to do for you is whatever the things that you believe is the most important, to take daily action, but is holistic and broad, right? So one way I came across with these things is, what would I do if the doctors could never, would end up finding not anything? Up until now, they didn't find anything. So I'm asking myself, what would I do if I finish all these tests for the next couple of months and they still don't find any problem? And then what I came up with is, okay, then what I'll do is probably keep eating what I'm eating, like, probably maybe a bit better nutrition. My health and diet is pretty on point. So that part is already built in my previous program, my health and diet, like in the efficiency stuff. But I would add to it by doing yoga, swimming, few more exercise days, and then sleeping in a bit more and having a few more herbal drinks and stuff like that, right? All right, let me go to the next point because I don't want to get too much into the specifics. The point I'm trying to make here is breaking it down between regular specific action that really has a high chance of moving the needle, and then broad action, which things you can take on a regular basis if those specific things don't pull through. Time block everything. This is basically on a calendar. Everything that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be basically put in my calendar. Everything that I'm going to be doing for health specifically is going to be put on a calendar and is going to be prioritized over anything else, right? So 1 to 6 p.m., there's going to be nothing, no work, no calls, no anything. Like it's just like my business can't come in 1 to 6 p.m. or my personal life. Like nobody from my, it's all going to be about what I put here, right? And put it in your calendar. So it's actually gets done. And also put in my calendar the broad things, right? Which days of the week I'm going to be, like every Sunday I'm going to be blocking out which day and what time I'm going to be going to the swimming pool, which day, what time I'm going to be doing yoga, etc. And the last thing is mindset. Mindset is huge when it comes to tackling unexpected problems, because in a way it's more than 90% in the mind, right? Breaking this program is built, like I said, one of the biggest difficulties about breaking your current program is what you believe gets you forward, right? My currently program was what I believe was hitting these marks, getting these sales calls done, finding out these vendors and trying these out. All the stuff that is going to move my business forward. And when I hit them, I feel good about myself and it refuels me and it makes me go forward. Well, this mindset right now, what's going to help it, for me particularly, is almost like the opposite. Is allowing myself to take time, sleep in, be patient. So I'm getting books on being patient. I'm reading listening to an audiobook right now called The Patient Organization, right? Again, it's brainwashing myself to still be overall connected and being able to maintain where I'm supposed to go. All right, where was I? Pause the video. So as I was finishing up, basically I was saying is that the mindset is going to be basically, going towards the things that this shift requires. For me, is right now being more patient and also getting books on teaching and hiring, right? This is just the last two is basically for me to be connected and see a way to come full circle with my previous program, which is efficiency, right? When I'm able to, let's say my health heals and stuff like that, until that time comes, how I'm going to still be in the loop of doing things that's going to be moving me forward in the business, which is right now, an easiest one is learning hiring, right? I think I already almost done with the book called Who, and, taking notes on all that stuff, really taking my time, and again, brainwashing myself on hiring, right? Going and watching videos on hiring, seeing how hiring has played a huge part in other people's businesses, and making myself fully, first of all, believe that, oh yeah, hiring is one of the biggest things that I need to do. And that's going to help me bring in this new program, because once I believe that it's important, that it's cool, that I will need it, then it will be easy for me to do more of it while I'm still in this maintenance mode, being patient, when I'm not really taking action. And those parts won't be able to take me down as easy, if that makes sense, right? And then the last one is also books on teaching, because I'm looking for potentially doing a course, etc. You guys get the point. I hope this helped. it's a pretty hard concept for me to put it on video, so I hope I was able to kind of put a picture on what I'm talking about here. It's a way I just wanted to share what I'm going through right now, but at the same time put in a framework where if you are in a place where you're literally having trouble doing what you need to do, understand that it's all to do with mindset with these things, right? And if you structure it the right way, you can prioritize the most action you can. I mean, most life events doesn't require you your whole like 8 hours of the day, right? So if you can structure your mindset in a way to be efficient and prioritizing the right things for you to do, let's say in your business or your what you want to achieve, while also putting your current hurdle you're going through part of the system, you'll be in a much better position. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for today. Peace.